Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you. Not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Then lock your door. 5, 6, gonna crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin here with you.
And Scotty Bonin here with you guys.
We are
the Blood Brothers.
And
the Rob.
Oh, I like that voice, Rob. It was like grudgish.
yes, sir, here we are.
Baby back.
Baby back.
I don't know. Rob was talking about meat, and I was thinking about baby back ribs.
Oh man, ribs would be good.
Rob's on keto diet for I don't know. Set your watch probably for like another 24 hours.
Yeah, he's lost 12 pounds though.
Hey, I'm doing much good better.
All right.
So-
That's fucking awesome.
Well, Rob,
It's not fun.
we're gonna
It
check in
really
with
is
Rob every
not.
week so that he stays accountable.
Lots of red meat.
You can have one cheat meal a week, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what is that? I mean, like, what does that constitute? Like, how
it's just
bad
it's just a
can you
teaser.
cheat?
Like just balls to the wall, anything you want for one meal.
Just pizza loaded with
Yeah,
toppings,
like-
chocolate
and
cake.
What if it was just frozen yogurt?
Well, there you go. Just eat a tub of
Yeah,
frozen
there you
yogurt.
go. Eat a whole entire tub.
Oh my god! I think I may get some frozen yogurt.
What'd you we're already causing him to break the diet
I love
tonight.
frozen yogurt.
I'm thinking about what I want, and like
Huge piece of
frozen.
chocolate cake with milk.
We got like one of those frozen yogurt bar things over here, like right next to the house.
Walking
And-
distance.
Is it like TCBY or Menchie's?
Well, there's nothing really walking distance, but
Ah.
it's within a couple of miles. It's right there, but yeah, it's like a TCBY. Oh, it's so good.
So
They had like during the holidays, they have eggnog yogurt.
Ooh, I love eggnog.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
once a
eggnog
week,
latte.
frozen yogurt, froyo. It's all you, yo.
Hey, froyo's still healthier than ice cream.
Yeah.
I like froyo way more than ice cream. Ice cream gives me the squirts. It's
Yeah.
something to do with the lactose.
It's got the
You know,
the dairy, all that dairy.
Speaking of squirts, and we were talking about shitting before we started recording.
As we do every episode.
yeah,
yeah.
of course.
I do have to say that today, I felt so bad. So today,
Oh, Danny.
Shannon's mom was watching the kids at my house while I was working because I work from home, but I can't get anything done if you know I have to watch the kids and work.
Yeah,
She's watching them. Shannon had to go to a meeting for her work, and
you had to take a poo.
Stella is potty training, but she's like regressed slightly because I think it's because we stopped celebrating so much. When she went pee pee or poo poo in the little potty, you know, we had to give her a piece of candy and like do this big old dance party whenever she went. And then we're
Yeah,
The child
the dance
go out
party.
in the yard and learn the right way.
Go dig a hole in the
And
backyard.
then after she went potty for like 5 days, we're just sort of like, oh, woohoo, and then that's it. And now she's starting to like not do it as well. So anyway, she's upstairs in the playroom, and she poops on the floor.
Oh,
And on the carpet. Although she did get the last half of it in the little potty. She dropped a log on the floor and then made it over to the little potty and got the rest in there.
so the little potty was in the same room.
Yeah, we try to keep it with her. And so I just hear Shannon's mom go like, Stella, why'd you poop there? You can't poop there. And so Elliot's up there too in the playroom. And then so is Shannon, their cousin, Shannon's sister's baby.
Riley.
And so her mom leaves to go get toilet paper to pick up the poop, and I came upstairs to sort of like be like, Stella, what the heck? And I sort of make it back into the playroom right before her mom does, and there's Elliot just hands covered in poop and poop on his mouth.
Oh no! So he got into her poop.
Yep. He crawled right over while Shannon's mom left the room
to get the TP really quick.
Got the poop.
Oh shit!
like a dog sifting for cat turds.
Yes, out of the litter box.
So he put Stella's poop in his mouth.
Oh, was he crying or did it phase him at all?
He just it seemed like he was totally fine. I think he did have a little bit of that look on his face.
So
no.
So can you even look at your son the same way?
I felt so bad. I rushed him to the sink and washed the poop off his hands, and then he doesn't have any teeth, but I took Stella's toothpaste and brushed his mouth out and stuff.
Because automatically he finds something on the floor and he wants to put it in his mouth too.
He's at that age. He puts every single thing in his mouth.
So a nice Lincoln log right there. It's like, oh man, that's too bad. God.
Anyways.
Did it affect Stella at all? Was she like, Elliot took my...
No.
Oh, well.
And speaking of shit, that brings us to Leprechaun Origins.
2014.
Yes.
Great transition there.
Yes.
This is what I would call a not so good movie.
It just lost all the feels.
You cannot put this movie in a Leprechaun series.
You can't put it next to any of the movies we just watched previously.
Are we sure this is part of the Leprechaun series?
It's on Wikipedia, part of the series.
They're so fucking stupid. Hey, it's part of my Blu-ray disc set.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just want to say before we say too much bad stuff about it, on its own, it's not that horrible of a movie. Granted, it's not the best movie, but if we were just doing this movie on its own, it's okay. It's better than some of the movies we've done.
It's a little darker, a little more traditional horror than the Warwick Davis ones.
As a part of the Leprechaun canon, it's fucking dog shit.
Yeah, it doesn't go with the trend of the Leprechaun series.
You can't take this awesome... guilty as charged. I've been enjoying Leprechaun movies. I just have to put it out there. I just have to say it.
Me too.
It was a little rough getting through Puppet Master. There was some nostalgia involved. Since there was 12 of them, it was sort of oh, all right, weekly Puppet Master. Here we go. Good old Puppet Master. Yeah. But really, they sort of were horrible movies. I'm actually enjoying Leprechaun movies, and I just
Warwick Davis is awesome.
Yeah, and I sort of raved about last week's episode, back to the Hood, and how I think we've seen just a glimpse of the best Leprechaun ever when he just fucking stares at her when she dies, and all
he has
this
that
awesome
menacing,
stuff.
just demonic face.
Yeah. So to then go to this shit where you have the comedy already established in the series. You have his one-liners or rhymes established, and that's what everyone loves about the series.
You have the gold, you have the cloverleaf, you have all those little things that were added, but nothing.
And then to just be oh no, we're just going to totally fucking change it. I just picture a couple hipsters sitting in a room man, the Leprechaun just wasn't dark enough. Just knowing if we just take it and totally do it,
we need to make it
a different way,
more of a traditional horror and freak people out.
If we just totally change the entire thing, but still use the name, then a ton of people are going to see it. And that's what it should have been from the beginning.
That's what got their name on the map, probably because they used the name for it. And I don't know who gave them the go ahead. I mean, obviously. The characters are based on Mark Jones. I don't know if he has anything to do with it, but obviously
he doesn't. No.
Yeah, but obviously Lionsgate was like, okay, whatever, show me what you got. And WWE Studios, which is the wrestling. It's a studio owned by the Wrestling Federation or whatever.
And they make this big deal. Sorry, I'm just talking. Rob, do you have anything to say for yourself?
It's okay. Now, there have been
opening thoughts from the Rob.
There have been flagrant accusations thrown around about me may or may not be watching these movies. I watched this one.
We're just stating facts.
Yes,
I paid the $3.99 on YouTube to watch this thing.
I got it for free on demand.
It was so bad, it was hard for me to keep track of this movie. I had to stop and rewind because maybe it was like a mental thing, but I was expecting a leprechaun, like a real leprechaun, and I was having like stroke like symptoms because there was no leprechaun in this. I'm sorry, those little things to me were not leprechauns. There were no jokes, there were no shiny buckles, and it lists this wrestler, this little guy, Hogwaller or whatever his name is.
Hornswoggle. Yeah, that's his wrestling ring name. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they list him, so I'm thinking like this guy's getting top billing. He's going to be the new Warwick Davis.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no. Anybody could have played one of these.
Yeah, that was going to be my next
hobbit
gripe.
Creatures. Like if I'm him, I'm pretty irritated about the whole situation.
Yeah, they even I had a couple featurettes on the Blu-ray disc I had. They didn't have commentary with this one, but they had a couple brief featurettes that didn't really tell you shit. But they did. They
told us just. I couldn't. Wikipedia doesn't even tell you anything.
Yeah, well,
there's hardly anything.
They were talking to him, and he's like, he was saying in the interview how, this is great for me. I'm excited. I really get to act with my non-verbally. And then even one of the director was like, Dylan, we're excited to have Dylan because he's used to acting non-verbally with his wrestle work. And then it showed some clips of him doing wrestling where he's just making faces and shit like The Rock does, and just whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that really played over well into his character here. And it's like, what? You fully see him like once for 2 seconds.
You barely get a glimpse of him. I mean, you only see his face mainly the whole time. You maybe see a full body shot maybe 2 or 3 times, but it's like quickly.
And I think the reason for this is that he probably looked ridiculous, and because you can catch a glimpse of it a couple times where he is actually looks so small and unmenacing that they probably didn't show. They were probably editing it and we're like, oh shit, we can't like show him or it just looks dumb.
Well, his name's Dylan Postal. Hornswoggle is his wrestling name. He stated that he had never seen any of the previous Leprechaun films.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered if he did.
I know.
And he said he had chosen not to view any, as he wanted his performance to be of his own creation without the influence of any of the prior films.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
There was no performance there. I'm sorry. It was just close-up shots here and there of some fucking face that looked like the creatures from the is it the ruins or
it reminded me of the cave,
the descent, and the cave.
Descent. It's the descent. That's the descent. That's what I was trying to think
exactly.
Of.
Yeah.
To me, like the ruins, the cave, and the descent always they just mesh.
I was trying to put my thumb on what it looked like. Now the descent for sure.
Yeah.
And it was like, and the sound he made, like, just the camera movement was, you could barely ever see him, and then the sound just. It was like a grunting, like, low growl sound.
Would you quit shopping for shoes, Rob?
Is he shopping for shoes right now?
Shopping for shoes right now.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at shoes right now.
And there is a handsome man on your screen.
It makes him podcast better when he's shopping for shoes.
Look at those. Those things are badass. That's the 1979 Nike Air Tailwind.
Did you just message us the shoes?
No. You posted it.
No, Danny stalks my Facebook activity.
Oh,
I just got a notification that you posted in CCH, and it's you shopping for shoes.
Danny's surfing Facebook. Rob's posting or looking at shoes.
They're pretty badass looking. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
So,
but I mean, no, it wasn't. It would have been an okay movie, even called Leprechaun, but to put it in the series of the Leprechaun it doesn't work. I mean, it's
completely different.
And that's probably what really messed me up because I'm like, okay, there's a new Leprechaun. Where is he? Yeah. I'm like, hey, he's not here yet. I'm like, okay, maybe these are like his little minions.
Yeah, what is this little guy that we keep seeing? That's not the Leprechaun, right?
No, still not there yet. And it's really really bad marketing.
You were having flashbacks to What, the fucking Danny Hicks movie? What the hell was the name of it?
Oh God,
Intruder.
yes.
Intruder.
You're sitting there going, okay, where's Bruce Campbell?
Where's Bruce Campbell?
Where's
Yeah, I'm
Bruce
like, where's the
Campbell?
Leprechaun?
Yeah, exactly. Where's Warwick Davis? Come on.
I
Obviously,
just want to
he was
live and
in
say
this.
that these things could have been leprechauns, but none of them were the leprechaun.
No.
So I don't I mean, I guess it's because it's a WWE film. They gave one of the members obviously top billing. That's good for them, I guess. But I mean, nobody in here should have got top billing. Like,
No.
I don't get it. It was really like, it's really bad. This is not good. This is one of those not goods I'm not even going to recommend just to get a giggle. Like, I would recommend The Crazies just to torture somebody because it's really bad.
Yeah.
It kind of has a place in horror because it's a Romero original.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like Puppet Master Part 3.
Yeah. Which is.
Isn't part 3 the Nazi one?
Was that the Reich? The Littlest Reich?
No, Littlest Reich is the good one.
Oh, that's the
By
good
S.
one.
Craig Zoller.
But it's the
one
Nazi
that they
one.
go back in time, and there's a train.
Yeah, Nazis, right?
Yeah. Okay. So that is Part 3. Yeah. This is the Part 3. This is the.
Toulon's
That's where
Revenge.
they introduced kind Hugh Jackman.
Toulon's
right?
Revenge?
That's right. This is Toulon's Revenge. That's the one.
Yes.
If I remember right. I don't know if I remember right. But anyways.
Kind in general, though.
What?
Kind Hugh Jackman, but wouldn't that be regular Hugh? I think Hugh Jackman.
I know. I'm just saying his facial features make him look even more kind.
Yeah.
Old lady Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah, because the second one was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, right? Science dude in the room.
Yes, that was the second one.
Puppet Master 2. Yeah.
All right, that's what I thought.
And then Toulon's Revenge. Yep. Yep.
Was really
I can't believe I remember that.
I totally,
well,
though.
it kinda gets burned into your brain.
It is.
Those things were terrible.
Yeah. Yep. I'm glad. I'm glad, and I'm not glad because now we're trying to go a little more in depth into the movie. So I bought this like box set for Leprechaun, but I should have done that for Puppet Master. But I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Then you would have been sitting on your shelf, never watched again.
Yeah. My children one day will go, Dad, what's this? I'll be like, why didn't you just watch them all?
I dare you to watch. I dare you to watch them. It might be good for kids movies. They'd be confused though. No, I totally agree with you though, Danny. I think if you were someone that sat down and watched this without watching any of the previous Leprechauns, it would be a decent movie. Like, okay, that was okay. But someone that's a Leprechaun fan already, and obviously have seen any with Warwick Davis, even if you saw one with Warwick Davis and then saw this, like, what? Why is this in this series? It just doesn't belong. There's no place for it here.
Yeah. So
should we go through it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. A little bit.
Okay, the movie starts. The Leprechaun's not in this.
And then it ends.
Yeah. See?
And done.
Nailed it right
No
there.
Warwick
So
Davis.
let's talk about Dances with Wolves for a minute.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Even if they had like a guy that acted like Warwick Davis or that talked,
and he didn't even. Yeah, he didn't.
No,
even
there's no
speak.
performance at all. There's no performance at all.
if there was someone that looked like a leprechaun that talked that looked similar to Warwick Davis, or that would have been better.
Well, I am excited. I
don't know.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here, but I am excited to do returns for our last episode next week.
we should have skipped this and done returns
Because
but I don't
that
think
is
any
back-
of us knew that this was coming.
Because I have seen the images. There is a Leprechaun. It is a horror comedy. It's just still not Warwick Davis, which is a shame. But it's back to what the fans want. None of this shit. So
Yeah,
which, by the way, I was having trouble finding Leprechaun Returns, but I think it is on Vudu. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I got a message from David Martin who was asking what we were doing tonight for sure, because he said he still has not been able to find
Okay,
it.
I googled it and it said it was available on Vudu. I have not logged in. I don't have Vudu, so I haven't
Yeah, it's
tried.
on. Yeah, it's the same thing as like Amazon. You just create an account and you can pay $3 for it.
Okay.
Which one is this one called?
Leprechaun
Returns.
Okay, I'm just gonna check YouTube while we're talking.
Lyndon
might be
Porco is the Leprechaun.
And they don't even have it in hard copy, so because it wasn't made for TV. So
Yeah, I bet
It was like
it
a
might,
sci-fi movie or something.
I don't. It may have been, but I'm not.
it
positive.
might be comedy, fantasy, horror.
All
it
right.
might be on demand.
It's not on YouTube either. So if you are listening and you do want to watch The Leprechaun Returns,
Voodoo.
it's not on YouTube. Vudu seems to be the only place that carries it.
Yeah,
If
check
you want,
Vudu.
Follow
Just go to
along
Voodoo,
with the show.
create an account. It's free.
Yes. That will be next week. We were going to do them both today, but we didn't get them both watched.
Well,
so.
no. After watching this, there would be no way I could have.
Yeah. Back to back.
So, anyways, yeah, let's talk through a little bit of this one here. I will say, the ladies weren't looking too bad. They weren't looking too bad.
Yeah.
No, surprisingly, the
They both look
WWE
good.
has some pull somewhere.
Yes.
And that guy has been in a lot of shit. What's his name?
Yeah. Gary Chalk.
He was in
played
Freddy vs.
Yeah, he's in
Jason.
Freddy-
Oh, you mean Brennan Fletcher,
Yeah. That's
who
what I'm
played
talking
David? Yeah, he's been in a lot. He was in The Revenant.
about. Yes. But yes, Freddy vs. Jason, he was in. I think that's what I recognize him most from. But I will say that him being with that girl, way out of his league.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Probably it's way out of his age as well. The guy's got to be almost 50.
You think so? I think he's one of those guys that looks really old, but is probably like really young.
What's his name again?
Brendan Fletcher.
Yeah, when was he born?
He's born in 81.
Oh, see, so he's like 36 or 38, 37.
37. Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's still pretty young.
And they call him kids in the movie. The like in I don't know, the Irish people are like the kids, blah blah blah. And
Well, they even say kids like in all of the synopsis about it. These traveling backpacking kids.
well, even the director said kids, and here he is. This movie was what, like 4 years ago, or
yeah.
and so the director, I mean, he was obviously like 33 or something at the time, or 32.
Yes, 5 years ago. Yeah.
So,
I'm telling you, he doesn't look bad for his age, but he does. I mean, he looks 40.
he
looks good for 40. I'm not saying
been
that,
quite a
but he
bit.
looks
She's
40.
just way out of his league. He looked like he hung out with high school Rob, like driving around a lifted Chevy with
I didn't drive Chevy.
with a
Drove Ford.
with a sleeveless jean jacket on, sleeveless cut off, with like
as you do.
with like patches on it, like a big old Harley patch on the back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you can't afford a Harley.
No,
You got the Harley
and
patch.
he wore like a trucker hat that was curved to the max, like he had a baseball rubber banded in there.
Oh God, I did used to really put a nice curve in the ball cap.
Oh, yeah.
and you know
Rubber band that baseball in
and
there.
you know he always had like just the thinnest, grossest, trashiest like beard mustache.
I never did the beard thing when I couldn't grow one, but I did do just the chin.
Just like pubes on your
Just-
face.
Yeah.
Just the goat. I just had the goat going for
And-
a long time.
And obviously no muscles, but constantly wears sleeveless shirts.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, you have to in Florida because you gotta keep the tan going.
And their XXL sleeveless shirts
yeah.
with no muscles. Yes.
Rob just relied on the mere size of himself, albeit be 90% fat, to act as muscle.
Hey, I was something to look at in high school. I'm gonna be honest.
Heck yeah. We're all
I was
skinny.
I
We're
was
all
in
skinny
shape
guys.
in high school.
Yeah,
it didn't last long after high school, but
That's what happens when you have kids, right?
I'll tell you right now, I was
Sexy son of a bitch.
I was easy on the eyes in high school
Hey,
when I
oh,
had my bleached hair, when I had my Eminem,
Oh,
bleached
you went through
hair.
your Eminem phase?
Yeah, my earrings.
I'm picturing,
Oh yeah.
but you had this like brown goatee. I'm picturing a Guy Fieri.
Oh yeah, no, it was very much like a mix between Guy Fieri and like Mark McGrath.
Mark McGrath
Yeah.
from the singer of
Because I only bleached it once because it was very trying to do that, and so I never like kept it up. So as it grew out, they turned into like a frosty top.
Yeah, because your darker hair would grow out underneath it.
Oh yeah, so no, it looked good. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean,
All of
then
this.
I was told to cut it off immediately after it got too long, and in which I did. I complied.
Well, all of this to say that that you and this guy would have hung out in high school.
You and Brendan Fletcher would have been buds.
I mean, I actually had a friend in high school, Matt, that
balding,
looked, fairly similar to him, and I haven't seen him in like 10 years, but I can only imagine that it's continued in that direction.
Well, he probably lives in a trailer, and his main mode of transportation is a dirt bike that he drives on the street.
Well, last I heard, he still lives in his parents' house.
Well, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a dirt bike; it's a Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
But I mean,
1990 Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a 98 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around there.
98.
Yeah, no.
I bet it still has square headlights. Square headlights.
Which one had that? It was the YJ that?
Yeah,
had,
square headlights. Yeah, I had a couple YJs.
It could possibly be a YJ.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an XJ. We're not talking that kind of money.
XJ is the Cherokee.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
was the other one then?
The
YJ
TJ has the round headlights.
Okay,
That's
we're
right.
We're not talking TJ money.
Okay. All right.
I thought
we're not talking the 4-liter straight 6 either.
No,
We're talking
no.
like the 2.5 liter.
4-cylinder.
Yeah, that's right. With 33-inch mud tires that you can't even get it into 5th gear. You know.
Yeah,
you
because
can't
there's not enough power. 33-inch muds.
Mickey Thompson bullet hole rims.
Yeah, and the tires are probably like super swamp or boggers or something. And he's still got massive, or maybe he took off. That's what he did. He took off the
fender flares off.
Yeah, the fender flares. He took the fender flares off.
Yep.
But the bolt holes and the hardware are still in the Jeep, like in the
because
fender.
who has time
Oh yeah,
for
of course. Yeah, you got to put them back
Like
in
he
there.
took them off, but
Gotta make it
didn't
look
cut
cool.
the fenders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and no suspension lift, just a body lift.
yeah, just the body lift.
Yeah.
So that the
God.
bumper's got like a 3-inch gap between the body.
Oh my God, I hate that way. I hate the way that
Yeah,
looks.
see, we all know these people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're still out there.
And because it's just a body lift, it won't shift properly into 4-wheel drive, and so he has to have a bungee cord that holds it into 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, because the linkage doesn't line up anymore.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep, I used to have to manually do my linkage, not because of a body lift, just because some other shit.
Just because you're a badass, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had a badass Jeep. Have you seen pictures of my old Jeep?
The white one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, that
badass.
thing was badass. I thought you said you were going to buy like a 4Runner or something.
I do. I still wish I could buy.
I remember driving that thing.
I still wish I could buy like a 4Runner. I'd go new though, like Scotty's 4Runner. But then
Scotty's 4Runner is sexy. I'm going to just come right out and say it. That 4Runner.
Dude, it is
But what
sexy.
haven't yet, please go follow our movie page, She Walks the Woods.
Yes.
For some cool photos, and there's one or two in there of Scotty's 4Runner. And that thing is
See, but I would.
It's sweet, man.
But I would
It's
take
sweet.
it-
I'll
I
let you
would-
drive it when you come out
I
here.
would take his 4Runner and just make it a buggy. I'd like exo cage it and like chop off the back.
I got 2-inch
like,
lifts on that already.
You know what?
the thing looks mean.
Yeah.
It looks, but that's because Toyota
Climbs up the hills, man. It
Anyways,
climbs up
we just
everything.
that wasn't a side
Danny
rant.
just drives a Chevy.
Yeah, I
And
do. That wasn't a side rant. That was a deep delve into this man's character.
Exactly. Brendan Fletcher,
this is the
who
only
played David
character.
in
This is the
Leprechaun
only
Origins.
character in the movie. He's the only one.
He's the best actor in the movie.
But he's also like the only character in the movie. He's like the only one
that has a character.
that probably has any real acting experience, and he's also the only one that kind of caught your eye almost because everything else just sounded like white noise. Once I figured out,
I thought his
Leprechaun.
girl was sort of cute and interesting.
Jenny.
Is that her name?
Of course, she was kind of the less hotter one, though, as depicted in the movie, I think.
Yeah, but I thought she was hotter than the other girl.
I thought so, too. Her name is Melissa Roxburgh, and the girl that played Sophie, the main girl, Stephanie Bennett, she's the only survivor.
She had really
maybe.
big gums.
Yeah.
Stephanie Bennett.
They've both been in a few things, though. But her boyfriend, Ben, who's played by Andrew Dunbar, he's in Dragged Across Concrete.
Yeah, I saw that.
You see that?
Lucky
Oh my God!
He plays a
and
name.
This isn't
a name
going
role.
off on a tangent. This is horror related because of S. Craig Zoller.
Yeah, Andrew Dunbar, that's in Leprechaun Origins, is in Dragged Across Concrete.
Yeah, I saw that.
Who is it? I hope it gets in theaters. I
doubt it, but
I'll pay $30 a ticket to go see Dragon Cross Card.
Me too.
Me too.
Me 3.
Although I will say I was hoping for some more brutalness in the preview, but they must be saving it.
The trailer didn't
I bet they're
really
saving
show
it.
anything.
Mel Gibson, that's the best part. We know that Vince Vaughn can do really brutal after watching Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Oh, yeah.
Mel Gibson has always been able to do brutal. So I think it's going to be insane.
I
think it's going to be absolutely awesome.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I cannot.
Oh,
Holy
Moses!
shit.
Speaking of brutalness,
Speaking of
blunt force
I
trauma
can't wait.
to my asshole,
God,
that means it's time for the
horror halftime. God, I can't wait for the horror halftime.
Bunch of repeats, so no winner. Although you're all winners.
Our devout repeats. You guys are.
Anybody who's listening to this podcast is a winner in life, and anybody who listened to this and avoids this movie, you just won again.
Anyone who watched Leprechaun Origins wins in my life right now.
Doesn't win.
Doesn't win. No, but they took the time out of their busy day to watch it, so they win.
I just want to say that I am appreciating the Judd memes. Please keep them coming. I think for some reason, I think those are by far the funniest memes ever. When you actually write the meme in the way that Judd talks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty.
The actual words.
Yeah.
It's pretty perfect when you can read it. And
whenever I read it, I'm doing his voice in my head.
And you hear Danny's voice in your head when you read it. It's
Freddie had an awesome one. God, I know I need to scroll down. And, Teddy Thomas had an awesome one. A lot of good Judd ones.
There was good non-Judd ones too.
Yeah. I do like. We even talked about it more today already. The 18-year-old O'Neillio starter pack.
Yeah. with his mullet hanging down.
That one's pretty hilarious.
6-pack of Budweiser.
And I did forget to mention, yes, Metallica "Ride the Lightning" would be the soundtrack.
Mar Reds.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some good memes for sure.
So awesome.
No winner though.
No winner. So my favorite of the Judds from Freddie and Teddy Thomas. Awesome memes there.
Literally, guys,
keep playing.
Keep playing, because if you haven't won this year already and you're like a repeat person that keeps putting stuff in, just put a meme in or someone new.
Yeah, just throw a meme in and you win.
You win free shit. Who doesn't love free shit?
And it's good stuff. It's shirts and decals.
Tri-blends.
Yeah, soft shirts.
Really nice shirts.
Very nice shirts. They feel
unless you
nice
wear
on your skin.
over 2XL, because the tri-blends only go up to 2XL, I think. I think they now go up to 3XL, but I would need to relaunch the design to.
But they're kind of stretchy, you know. They can fit. They fit good.
All right, that concludes the horror halftime. All right, I was gonna say something.
So we're starting in the Ireland forest.
Yeah, so I guess we know it's in Ireland, or we assume just because some aerial footage, some drone footage or something. This, by the way, this did get a limited theatrical release.
Yes.
So
it was the first one to get limited release since Leprechaun 2.
Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with.
Leprechaun 2 was the last one to get theatrical release.
Some people actually went to the theater expecting a Leprechaun movie to watch this. Although, maybe
I feel really
previews.
bad for those people.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So we start out.
Two other people.
Kids, quote unquote kids, although they're not kids, they're full grown men and women.
But we start the very first scene
with
is
families of their own.
Yeah.
The very first scene is a audience gripper, because the couple gets killed. They run from this thing that's in the Ireland fields, and there's this legendary.
She was the hottest out of all of them.
She was. Catherine. Yes. And then but I don't get, why'd she throw her backpack at the sound, and she left it there, which plays a part later on in the movie. The backpack does.
That's why.
So they get killed by whatever this thing is running through the bushes. It's certainly not a leprechaun that I would think, but apparently it was.
No, at first you're kind of like, oh, maybe it could be. And then you sit there for an hour and 40 minutes and you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
This movie would be okay if it was the first in the series, and then they evolved into like the wisecracking leprechaun that we've all grown to know and love.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case.
It took the Evil Dead arc.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Although to compare this to Evil Dead is an absolute just trash.
Nothing comparable.
Nothing compares to Evil Dead.
So you get four college friends, Sophie, Ben, Jenny, and David, who come into this village, and they meet Hamish and at the bar, the tavern, the local tavern. And there used to be their village was a gold. They used to obtain gold there, and then they stole the leprechaun's gold, and all this shit goes down. So then they give them a cabin to stay in because they want to go on the trail.
I don't know. I'm going to back up a second. I don't know if you noticed this. When they come into the town and before they go into what it was supposed to be a pub,
they walk in there.
Supposed to be a pub. You see like the backdrop of the town, and that's exactly what it looks like, a painted backdrop of a town.
I think it was a painted backdrop.
I think it was too. It obviously looked like a painted backdrop of a town. And then it pans over to the right to show you the building they're about to walk into. And you can totally tell that building is like superimposed onto the background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like sort of hovering slightly as it moves like on its own slightly in front of the background. And then they go in.
It's just not good.
Yeah. Those beers look good that they were drinking, though.
Oh, yeah.
And then it looked a little bit, I don't know if you noticed this, but it looked a little too shiny in there. Like it was supposed to be old Irish pub, but it looked like
new.
It looked like a set.
Yeah.
It looked like that the beams. It looked like I walked into an old Irish pub, but in Disney.
Yeah, yeah. It was supposed, and it's supposed to.
Like they made an old Irish pub, which obviously they did, but they didn't like weather it at all or anything.
No, I just don't think it was in the budget.
If they were in Ireland, they probably could have gone to an old Irish pub, but it probably wasn't filmed in Ireland.
I'm sure they didn't have the budget to go to Ireland and film.
There's not much information on this.
If I had the production, I was looking for it.
Should have the budget to do whatever, right? WWE.
Yeah, it's
they have
professional wrestling.
almost as much money as the NFL at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think even they saw. I'm sure Vince McMahon or whoever with WWE is like, where's the leprechaun?
Yeah.
So they pass the tall, narrow rock with the artifacts on it. So now since they're past that, they can get hurt by the leprechaun, right?
Yeah, this is new.
But if they go past it the other direction, then the leprechaun can't pass the tall, narrow, legendary rock.
Leprechaun has to stay within its boundaries, apparently.
Exactly.
So I guess the story is that they mined this gold, and then the mine basically caved in on people.
Yeah, and then the gold ran out, and then the population dwindled.
And what they were mining, obviously, they stumbled upon a leprechaun's home or cave or something like that.
Yeah.
His nest.
And then they stole the gold.
And what I didn't understand, is there only the one leprechaun, or were there multiple ones? At the end, was that multiple leprechauns?
When I read the Wikipedia, because I had to reread what I just saw, apparently there are 4.
Oh, really?
And she kills one, and the other 3 scuttle off, is what I read.
Oh, okay.
That was not made clear at all.
At the very end.
There was a lot of things not made clear.
Not one.
I thought there was just one the whole time.
Yeah, I thought there was just one as well. That was... But then at the end, didn't they have like... I thought I saw like... I didn't really understand what the end... It was like... zooming out on the field, and it looked like maybe there were trails of 3 or 4 multiple leprechauns or something. I don't know.
There was a lot of zooming in and out and camera going from place to place. It was very
for not being a found footage film, it sure had the shakiest fucking camera parts.
Oh, it was.
And then the flashlights running.
Flashlights,
it was like you almost had like a seizure watching this.
And
movie.
the leprechaun vision. The leprechaun vision was like
panning back and forth, like that part when she's like. We're skipping to the end here, but when she takes that little like van and escapes, and Leprechaun's like attacking her, that was so hard for me to watch. I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
So anyways, they meet an old timer in the pub,
Hamish,
and
who's played by Gary Chalk, who's in a lot of things.
He gets them to. He tells them about. Oh, you're into history. Well, you gotta go. Oh, yeah, I've got to go check out the. I can't do an Irish accent without doing a high voice like this. His voice suddenly has to be very high. Well, if you're into history, you ought to go check out the old
cavern.
What is it?
The cavern.
Cavern?
Yep.
The old cavern and some of the artifacts, which houses some of the oldest artifacts ever known in Ireland.
And there's a trail.
But it's a 7-mile hike. So they go. So he said, conveniently, is like, oh, well, we have this cabin right next to this trail you guys can stay in. And what is this, all for free? Because I haven't heard him talk about any kind of money.
No, yeah, it's
No,
free.
I haven't talked about any money
It's
at all.
it's out of the goodness of his heart.
I would be very suspicious if I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, they put him up there.
Because it's supposed to be a day trip.
Yeah, so they go to stay in the cabin. While they're at the cabin, the old guy locks them in so they can't get out.
With his son, Sean.
And in the middle of the night, they get attacked by this, what's supposed to be a leprechaun. But they get out of the chimney flue, basically.
That's what was really confusing me when
it's
like
a
the
little
initial
door.
attack happened. I'm like, what's going on? Why? Where? I'm ready for the where's me gold?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, where's me gold?
Nothing.
But so he's drawn to gold, and then before Hamish leaves, he hangs the Rolex watch on the cabin to attract the leprechaun to come to the cabin.
Yeah, I guess, and they hang gold around them at certain times. How did he get a Rolex? Because you can't mine a Rolex.
He stole it off one of the other kids that came the week before that got killed.
I guess so. All right.
Because they have all those all the clothes that are in the basement or whatever.
Yeah. All right.
Is there like a certain? I mean, how many people do they feed to the leprechauns?
They have
like,
to-
I never heard of a quota.
Is it like a constant, like assembly line of people coming to this
I
middle
think
of
so.
nowhere village to be fed?
Yeah. It seemed like in order for the townspeople in the village to stay alive, they have to like keep the leprechaun fed and gold giving to him.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because I've on my screen is still Freddy's meme here.
It's good.
Anyways.
Are you going to say it for us?
Yeah, I was hired to diddle some fiddles for Rob's birthday party.
Diddle some fiddles.
The diddler.
Oh my God, the diddler.
So yeah,
Judd the diddler.
anyways, yeah. So chimney. Yeah, he comes. I guess it's like the chimney flue, like the chimney clean out door, but it's sure huge for that kind of door.
I mean, it's right behind the fireplace. I think it was just like a secret door that they put in there for him to get through.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
But anyways, they get out somehow. Does any of him get hurt yet? Does he gets his? No one gets hurt yet, right? They get out and they escape to the main house where these people stay.
David gets hurt. He gets his leg all
he
cut
gets
up.
his leg all chopped up.
Yeah,
That's right.
Brendan Fletcher.
So, they get there. Now it becomes apparent that these people have locked him in the house to do their whether it's nightly or weekly or monthly sacrifice to the leprechaun. We don't know. It has not been established or never does get established.
Well, it's leprechauns now. It's like a whole litter of them.
And what's this? It's the book, the mythology. It's the Tatha de Danana or whatever.
But we don't even know that. I never even knew ever that there was more than one and I only had a hint of it at the very, very end.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought there was one the whole
is
time.
why is this called Origins?
Yeah,
Because this does not take place prior to the movies. They didn't give it a date,
Well,
but
what the
it
director
doesn't
said-
look like it takes place prior. So it's
What the stupid director said was, and we're going into the origins of the leprechaun and why it's there and where it came from. And I'm like, yeah, well, if that's why you're calling it Origins, then they already did that in
Back to the
Hood
with the storybook open.
Yeah,
and
about the king and the treasure and all that.
And there was one leprechaun left that didn't make it back to his home. And
that's just
this has to be. I wonder if this is just written like one of the Hellraisers.
It should be by itself.
It had to do with evil creatures. It was by itself, and then WWE or whoever is involved somehow got it linked in with
bless you.
linked
Linked in with
in,
sneeze.
like bought rights to or somehow got it affiliated and put into the series with these. I don't know.
There had to have been some money involved, and like, hey, I'll give you this amount of money if you put it with the series. And like, okay, sure, why not?
I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean,
it doesn't follow any storyline. There's no Easter eggs. It takes place in Ireland. I mean, I was actually kind of interested in the origin thing because I think I even, damn little dog. I think I even mentioned that I kind of dug the opening for the last one, like the old school, back in time, the old parchment paper. Reminded me of Kevin Costner and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, yes.
Or even like, damn it, what was the other one?
Evil
like
Dead, Book of the Dead.
Book of the Dead and Brave. It just was kind of fun, and this I don't understand any of the choices they made.
It was like I said, it was probably just some fucking hipster sitting down going, "A leprechaun, but brutal."
Yeah, and a part of me is like,
he's half monster though, so you don't really ever see him.
And a part of me is kind of like, okay, good on you.
Yeah,
whatever, that's fine with me. You do you, boo boo, but then to stick it in with the Leprechaun movies,
and there's probably someone like you sitting in the room going, okay, well, what about his like one-liners and what kind of Easter eggs are we going to have? And how are we going to do it without Warwick? And they're probably all just like, no, man, like, we don't need any of that. Like we don't
you don't get what I'm saying, man. Like, it's...
And speaking of...
You're so stupid. Just let us make our movie.
And speaking of, like...
I'm an accredited IMDb screenwriter. I don't need your bullshit right
You're
now.
damn right. Speaking of Easter eggs, too, like...
No, I just don't get it.
When they first get to the cabin... both girls are trying to get it on with their guys, and the one guy's reading. He doesn't want to have anything to do, and then David falls asleep. So we don't even see any like boobers or any sex scenes in this.
No boobers, just some booties.
I will say
it doesn't make it better. I'm just saying though. Usually,
as interested as I
horror
am,
movie.
Always in boobers. This movie I was actually missing Warwick Davis and the Leprechaun so much. Like, that didn't, like, I didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right. Me too.
I kept waiting for him to show up. And I will say, I hate, like Danny, I hate to admit it now, but these aren't that bad. Like, I've kind of enjoyed watching, I really
Seriously?
have kind of enjoyed watching these movies.
Me too.
And when...
It's because of Warwick.
Yeah, and you can trivialize it all you want. He's in full makeup and he's playing. But no, he watch what? Probably I would have to say Leprechaun. Ooh, goodness. I would say Leprechaun in Space is the worst out of all.
Yeah.
It just is. Warwick Davis didn't even rhyme in that.
Yeah,
he didn't
had all those
get a fair
Shakespearean
shake.
Yeah,
quotes.
He wasn't himself on that one.
So you watch the worst Leprechaun movie and then watch this. And arguably this is better produced, better made, better shot, better effects and everything else. But you just take Warwick Davis away and there's no reason to watch these movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's why I'll be interested to watch Returns because hopefully we have all the other elements back into play and the only thing we're missing is Warwick, and we'll just see how that goes.
And
I have
someone trying to kind of be like
I have a feeling it's not going to go over that well, but we'll see. I don't know. Well,
didn't he give it his seal of approval or something? Didn't he say that he enjoyed it or that he liked the actor that replaced him?
I heard more about this one playing the Leprechaun rather than the wrestler guy. More good things about him.
Well, good thing that they didn't ask that Warwick didn't come to do this one because he probably would have quit on set. He'd be like, I'm sorry, what are we doing with this movie?
Yeah.
There's no way. He'd be like, oh, you can't even recognize me? Like, where's my coat and my shoes? I can't be the Leprechaun without my shoes.
Well, I have no dialogue? Huh?
Yeah, what?
No rhymes?
And honestly, it sounds kind of ridiculous, when we talked about, like, Warwick Davis, when he talks about his character, he was steadfast about how it had, the Leprechaun had to have the shoes and, what have you. Yeah. But then you turn back, those little things make this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is what makes it work. And I mean, I actually really did enjoy these Leprechaun. And like I joke about one of my really good friends from high school.
Yeah,
he's a huge Leprechaun
fan. Yeah,
I never understood why, but no, they're up there.
They're kind of growing on me more and more. It's like God.
I mean, good guy. It's not just that Puppet Master was that bad. It's just these movies are pretty good.
Well, and like I said, the only way that I would have been okay with it going is a couple of those hints that we saw in Back to the Hood is still with Warwick, but just Warwick with this like just super sinister, aura about him of like, I'm done with everyone's shit and I'm out to murder people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
And it wasn't even about the gold anymore.
Yeah.
It was just about, hey, I'm just gonna fucking kill people.
He's become a psycho.
Yeah.
And it's not even.
It's still funny though.
It's not even in Back to the Hood alone. I noticed it first in it's Leprechaun 2 where they have the haunted tours and stuff, right?
Yes, Leprechaun 2.
Yeah, so I noticed it first in Leprechaun 2 when there were a few parts where it's just him on camera with not much dialogue. Specifically when he's sitting at the bar, he's sitting at the. It starts when they're at the bar. Morty and the kid is at the bar.
Yeah.
And Morty, he did that thing that we talked about where it was he decided to do it this way, where the kid is like, come on, we gotta blah, blah, and he says a lot of lines to him, but Morty's just sitting there like frozen. And then he's finally like, it's too late, kid, like he's already here. And then they point down the bar and you see Warwick Davis at the end of the bar. Just staring at them. And that's when it first hit me that like, damn, like he actually, all jokes and shit aside, like he can be like pretty creepy and sinister. And then once again, when he appears next to them and they do the drinking competition, there's a lot of time where it is just on Warwick Davis's face with no lines and it's just him, and I'm like, God, yeah, he could just. And then it just amplified it in Back to the Hood when he's like doing that same stare but watching people die.
Yeah, like he can be all fun and games. And he shows it on screen, but then when he can do the opposite too, and be sinister and demonic look, like holy fuck, man.
So I would have been okay with that, but this sad excuse for a leprechaun, no,
or whatever it was.
There may be people that are kind of a little weirded out by it because we're getting a little upset. But honestly though, I think after watching all these movies, and we'll watch the 2018 version, but I hold him up there with Friday the 13th. I think
Rob's on board.
Really? Wow.
I think you could. I think you could watch. I think the character. People talk about how endearing Kane Hodder was to Friday the 13th and everything else, and when you really watch all these, Warwick Davis is the same. I agree with you. His character is great, and like Danny said, there are flashes where he's not being absolutely comically funny, and he shows range.
Well,
and
big time range,
like real emotion, and it's bad, and he could be a badass.
Well, not to get off on a tangent, but I love Kane Hodder, and he's done a lot for horror, and he's great, but. Wasn't he only in like 3 Friday the 13th or something?
He was only in like 2 or 3, and they weren't really the best Friday the 13th movies.
I mean, so many people have played the Jason role that I just don't think you can call any one of them like, oh, that's Jason.
I think Kane Hodder as an individual is awesome.
He's the one that stands out the most out of all the ones that played.
My favorite Jason movie of all time is Part 6, and he's not Jason.
Yeah.
He was Jason in like Jason X. He was Jason in I believe he's Jason like in Part 8, Part 7, and Part 10 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but yeah, he wasn't. He was probably the best Jason, just not in the best movies. And Jason's been played by tons and tons and tons of different people.
Well,
numerous guys.
I don't know. I don't know that I noticed enough of a difference to really call him the best Jason. And I think
his mechanics are just better, and it's probably because the movies were written in a specific way to where he kind of he came in later when Jason was basically like a rock star, so he kind of got to play it up.
And I think he really promoted himself.
Well, that's why I think really one of the only reasons that he stands out as Jason is because he made himself stand out and promoted himself and promotes horror, and does cons,
which is good, which was great for the franchise.
I mean, like the guy from Friday the 13th, Dick something. who was in the Corey Feldman Friday the 13th, he hated it. He didn't want to be in that movie, and so he didn't promote it, you know. And so, and a lot of the other guys that played Jason were stuntmen.
Yeah.
And they did it, and then they went on and just did something else. They didn't hold on to it.
Yeah. But with like Warwick Davis, he's like, no one else is going to play Leprechaun beside me.
I mean, just like you had to have Robert Englund to play Freddy.
Exactly.
Jason doesn't have lines, you know. He's not a personality.
Yeah.
So
you don't really
he's not a character like that. So yeah, Robert Englund, you know, Robert Englund is Freddy, and that's probably why so many people hated the remake.
Yeah, and Doug Bradley is Hellraiser, you know.
But so many people have really turned around, or like me, I love the Friday the 13th 09 with Derek Mears, but you know, Derek Mears is awesome, but you know, like what we're talking about, it could have been any other 6'8", 300-pound linebacker with a hockey mask on, and you're going to be, okay, this is pretty cool.
And the same goes for Michael Myers and Leatherface. I mean,
but because
they're all masked, they don't have lines.
All of them too. But then when you throw a curveball and do something like this, it's like it doesn't sit well. You're like, wait, no, that's not Leprechaun.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's totally it is.
So you got to hand it to Warwick for holding it down and for still being a successful actor in other things. I mean, he's been in Harry Potter. He's been in Star Wars. He's probably been in Lord of the Rings. I don't even know. He's been in all these movies.
Oh, he's working big time right now still.
He's good friends, I believe, with like Ricky Gervais. He does comedic writing.
We should get him on the show.
He's I know that he has a family and everything. And I mean, he's very successful. You know, he's not. I mean, even though, you know, a lot of people could say it, you know, he's just a guy in a costume in the Leprechaun and what have you. But I mean, he is very successful.
Yeah.
And I think because even when he was the Leprechaun, he took it serious. You know?
Oh, very serious.
I'm gonna have my shoes. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have that. And there's a reason for it, because you watch this movie with him not in it, and not even just him, but the character that he created isn't in it. And it's a big letdown. This movie just was a big letdown.
Yeah. So, well, I'll be interested, like I said, to see the next one. And I mean, not much more happens in this movie. They all fucking.
I mean, I'll give this movie some credit. I mean, obviously, there was some decent effects in it. Obviously,
the axe to the face.
I thought
the axe to the face was awesome.
The spine rip was brutal and really cool.
The stomach slash to David too.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That was good. And I think a lot of that was wasted. I think a lot of that was wasted by putting it in the Warwick Davis Leprechaun universe.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been part of their.
And I didn't look at Returns, but obviously Gabe Bartolos was not involved in this one, and he's been the effects guy for the Leprechaun for all of the films.
Yeah.
I'm guessing from the Leprechaun's makeup, he was not involved in Returns either, but I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe it's
one of the other things that got me for this was when they ripped out her tongue ring and then her earring too. I was like, God.
Good.
Yeah.
She had a gold tongue ring and of course then gold earrings.
It had all the elements, and it seemed to have a lot of elements of like late 90s or early 2000s horror. Like you have the hot girls, you have the partying, you know.
Yeah,
which is
you have
fine,
them running to places and like, you know, they're trapped in the truck,
which is fine because that's probably never going to get old.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, you said you're trapped in the truck and he's on top, and you have to go get the key from the guy over there, and crap, get the flare and distract him while I go get the key. I'm not going to make it back in time, and so there was like parts. I was like thoroughly watching it. I was like, oh, cool, but it was just like. When I was watching it, I didn't feel like I was watching a Leprechaun movie. It was just a regular,
just a different movie.
Different movie. Yeah.
So. I mean, it was a good kind of creature movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
I thought the creatures, the leprechauns, or little evil pixie trolls, whatever you want to call them, I thought they were done really well, and the special effects were really good. And
the axe face was awesome.
Even the shaky cam, which I think was wasted, because I mean, like what we were saying, like. You know, if you want to do a found footage movie, do a found footage movie. But when you film a regular movie in that found footage style, it's like it's just not as distracting.
Yeah, this is very shaky cam, especially towards the end of this.
I did watch a couple featurettes, and they talked about the gags, and so like the Leprechaun itself had it was like a body suit and a mask. It wasn't even makeup; it was a mask that he put on. That had
looked like more of a mask because it didn't look like a human's face.
It had like a jaw attachment on it, where when he moved his jaw, it would move that jaw, and so it put it out more like sort of a monkey's jaw, like it protruded,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like this little thing, and then it did. He had he was basically holding arms in his hands, extended arms. As part of the suit, so that's the arms were like almost like monkey arms too. They reached the ground and everything. And then the legs were longer than his legs too, and were like always bent.
Yeah, I saw that they're always bent.
Sort of like I don't know, like the hind legs of a dog or something, but not the opposite way. I don't know. It was weird.
It wasn't the Arrival.
No, it wasn't the Arrival legs. That's what I was going back to.
No.
So yeah, it was the suit and this thing, and they said 2 hours. So that's not too bad to get into a suit compared to, probably the 6 hours of makeup that Warwick had to go through.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So then the gags they talked about, like the tongue thing was, it was just a tongue prosthetic that she had to bite down on, and then you could pull the ring out of it. Same with the spine. It showed him he had sort of like
oh god, that was
he sort of had
good.
like an add-on. They were fake shoulders and top of the back, that were on his actual back. And so when they're filming it and the spine's actually being pulled out, his head is sort of covering some of the attachments and stuff that attach it to his back. So it was cool stuff.
I think my favorite part of the movie was when the Leprechaun fakes them out and they think he's coming through and he shoves the girl through and that axe.
The axe was the best.
When Sophie puts the axe to Jenny's head, like, oh my god!
I did watch a thing on how
that was pretty cool.
How they did that, and they had a fake bust of her, most of her body and head, upper body and head. And so it was just a mixture of her actual body sliding through and then replacing it with his dummy. And then they only had one chance. They put sort of this bladder inside the head, like a balloon type thing, and pumped it with blood to the point where it almost would explode inside the head, but left it there so that as much blood as possible would come out. And I think it was like the head of effects, one of the effects guys, swung the axe because the actor himself was left-handed and this guy was left-handed too, the effects guy. And it just showed him they only had one shot to do it, so he had to nail it. So he was on his knees sort of next to the head, and he took a couple aims and then a couple like warm-up swings and then just like went right and it caught it right in the middle. Worked
that was
perfectly.
Good.
Yeah.
You couldn't really tell who did it, but she's the one that actually swung the axe. Sophie did, right? The girl. But it pans away with who's swinging it and just shows the blade going into the forehead.
Yeah.
But so that was cool.
There's definitely some highlights to this, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And it kind of, not trying to be a movie purist or anything, but when you market and you brand, and even like the description is like, like a reawakening of a classic and all this stuff like that, and then you do this, I'm going to come out. I like the Leprechaun, and I can be defensive about it all I want because I do. I mean, we've sifted through. God, we've covered The Exorcist, we've covered Friday the 13th, we've covered
Hellraiser,
all the Evil Deads, the Army of Darkness, the Evil Deads, the Puppet Masters. We did like a Romero, like 6 weeks of Romero. We've sifted through a lot of things that people really get upset about, especially Romero stuff. And I mean, I'm sorry, I can get upset about the Leprechaun. I think that I think that they're great movies.
Yeah.
I like it.
They have their style and likable. It's something that you just cannot like. Even if they're too corny, they're still good. Just because you feel the heart there.
Oh yeah, they're awesome movies, and this I think what they did was was a pretty cheap kind of a money grab thing, and to not even attempt to like rip it off in a good or a bad way. I mean, what was their plan? Like, I guess like the eighth one, the couple of them that escaped, even though like what we're talking about, they didn't really explain it very well that there was more than one. Like, what do they like wreak havoc on Chicago next or something?
I think that they realized their mistake, because obviously this new one is back to, or seems to be like it's going to be back to what we're used to. So.
Yeah. I just read that there's 3 leprechauns.
It's very upsetting.
Yeah. I just read that on Wikipedia. Sophie finally manages to cross the field as 3 leprechauns are revealed running in the tall grass.
Yeah,
like, huh?
That's what that was. So, well, cool. I think that covers Origins.
Yeah. And then, but one last thing that I wanted to say. The guys were shooting at the leprechaun the whole time, never was able to shoot him. But then all she had to do was throw up a little gold coins in the air and slice his head off with a machete.
Yeah,
and they introduced the gold. They introduced the gold thing to it, and we're used to the leprechaun literally running around and being like, "Oh, me gold!"
Yeah.
But they don't even try to attempt to, mention why these particular ones are obsessed with gold or anything to that effect. It just was really kind of pitiful.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of explanation for anything.
Well, cool. Well, we'll wrap up next week our Leprechaun series with Leprechaun Returns.
Coming up towards St. Patty's Day here soon.
Yes. So, all right, let's on to our final segment of the show.
What did you watch?
I did watch a couple movies. I rewatched Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I wasn't even going to, and then I was like, I'm just going to start it. And once you start it, so
that is definitely not like a Sunday movie like thing. Like you start Brawl in Cell Block 99, it's all over.
God, and the 2 hours and 10 minutes just go back. It goes by like that, like just It's just captivating. Such an awesome movie. I just love the face stomp and drag.
I could just watch all of those that last 30 minutes.
So yeah, I rewatched that. I did. What did I watch before?
You watched The Exorcism of.
I watched. The Possession of Hannah Grace.
Yes.
Ooh, is that any good? I've been seeing advertisements for it.
Okay. I only didn't think it was that good because I've already seen Autopsy of Jane Doe, and it seemed like they tried to do sort of similar to Autopsy, and Autopsy was just such a good movie that
Autopsy is such an
that
insane.
You can't.
I need to watch. I was going to watch that this week, and I started it, but then my baby was crying, and then I had to deal with. And then, anyways, I'm going to watch it like tonight.
There's some good visuals in Hannah Grace. I did pay to rent it. I was just in the mood for like a creepy movie, and I thought maybe that would deliver, and it sort of did. So I mean. If I'm comparing it to Autopsy, they're both in a morgue after hours with a dead body, and so that's creepy as it is. But just with Hannah Grace, they just I don't know, they just didn't pull it off.
It's not previews for it. Wasn't it in theaters?
It was in theaters. Yeah. Some okay visuals, but I just don't know if it's worth renting it. If it comes out for free on something, I would definitely watch it. It's worth a watch, but it was all right. So besides that, it's not horror. I watched Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson with Shannon.
Ooh.
It's pretty good. That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little techie, but it's not bad. It's a little sci-fi-y, I should say, but it turns out not being that bad. It's just, you know what it is? I had just watched Brawl in Cell Block like 2 days before, or a day before. So, like, all the action sequences in Ghost in the Shell just like weren't doing anything for me because I had just watched the brutal fighting in Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Yep. Nothing compares.
I just kept thinking, if Vince Vaughn were here,
this would go much differently.
Oh, I am so stoked for Dragged Across Concrete.
Me too.
I finished Punisher as well. That might have been last week, but I finished Punisher, and I'm very sad that there's not another one.
I never watched any of those yet.
Oh, there's a guy in the second season.
I need to watch that too.
I just recognized him. The Leprechaun that I watched, Origins, has the old previews, or not old, but 2014 previews on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Texas Chainsaw, the newest one, I think, with that really hot girl with dark hair and a belly shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot what her name is, but I can picture her.
She's so hot. But then there was also the preview for The Collection, which I've never seen.
Oh, The Collection's, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
I think it has to do with like it's the second or third movie in that the Collector, the Collection.
Yeah, The Collector's really good.
But it's Collection, and anyways, I'm tying it in because it looks like the main guy in that is also in the second season of The Punisher, and he's one of my new favorite actors. I don't even know his name, and he's one of my new favorite actors, so fucking love him. Anyways, that's all I watched.
I watched Overlord.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
It was awesome.
I heard good things about it.
It was very good, very well acted. Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell, stars in it, and he's very good. No, it's good. It's really good. I wish I would have. I had a chance to see it in theaters, but I didn't really know much about it or what it was about or anything else. But I wish I would have seen it in theaters. It's for rent on Amazon right now, and it's well worth it. It's very good.
Nice.
I'll have to check it out.
Nice.
I'll have to check it out because there's action and a lot of horror in it too. There's a creature in that one, right?
Creatures.
Oh yeah, no,
Creatures.
it's awesome. It's like evil Nazis. I mean,
Nice,
so there's
nice.
nothing more satisfying than killing Nazis, and there's really nothing more satisfying than killing like supernatural evils Nazis.
Yeah. Dead Snow 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah,
watched
yeah.
those.
It's kind of like that, and it's just really good fun.
Yeah.
And the special effects are good, and I mean, it looks like the budget was very. I mean, like, everything was really, really good. The World War II stuff was really fun.
Yeah.
So definitely like a high recommend for that.
I'll watch that.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna watch Autopsy. I'm gonna do that this week. I swear. With the new baby, it's just hard. I actually did when I was falling asleep. Law Abiding Citizen was on. It was like 10 minutes in, and it wrapped me in. So I actually just watched the rest of that in bed and stayed up late. So that's the only thing I watched.
I liked Law Abiding Citizen.
It was good. Yeah,
I've seen it, but I don't remember.
Gerard
it at all.
Butler, Jamie Foxx.
The ending of it I thought was
one.
a little. I thought the ending was a little weak, but I like it. Gerard Butler is awesome to me.
Yeah, he was really good in it. So
Sweet.
that's all I watched.
I'll get this thing wrapped up. I do have some announcements that luckily I remember to do before Ty gets too mad at me.
Good man.
We have some events coming up that Ty will be at and running, and me and Scotty were thinking about trying to make it to Living Dead weekend, though. I don't know. We'll see. So May 11th.
To be determined.
Yeah. May 11th, we are sponsoring an event. Cult Classic Horror presents A Night at the Drive-In.
Yeah.
This is at the Winter Drive-In in Wintersville, Ohio. So if you're in the area on May 11th, come check that out. I know it's going to be.
Get your butts down there.
It's like 4 films: Night of the Living Dead. You know what? I have the list right here. I can read it off. Night of the Living Dead, The Last Man on Earth, House on Haunted Hill, and then a surprise 4th film will be showing. And Ty will be there with for sure some stickers, and I think he was gonna get some shirts too to have there. So that would be some Cult Classic Horror logo shirts, but also we have a couple just movie themed shirts that we have, like the You're All Doomed one, and so Ty will probably be there. We'll have the banner there. So if you're in the area, check that out. We'll also have a booth at the Living Dead weekend, which is June 14th through 16th at the Monroeville Mall in Monroeville, Pennsylvania.
Yes. The legendary Monroeville Mall.
So, this is the one. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe me and Scotty can make it out there, catch a flight for a day. If we do, and we're prepared, we'll have some T-shirts and some stickers, and we'll just be there chilling. So come say what's up.
Yeah.
At least Ty will be there. Maybe we'll be there. And then the other event, July 20th. Will be at the Gross Fest Film Festival at the Doubletree Hotel in Washington, Pennsylvania. Gross Fest. Depending on where we're at with our film, we might be able to get it in there. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do festivals or if we'll have a distributor right away, but we'll see. So Gross Fest Film Festival, July 20th.
The Gross Fest thing sounds pretty awesome.
It does. So
hell yeah.
So yeah, check all those out. We'll be there. Awesome, guys. Well, follow us at Danny Bonin, at Scotty Bonin, at the Rob O'Neill, at O'Neillio, 4 O's, at Cult Classic Horror everywhere except at CC Horror on Twitter. I just released a teaser for our film She Walks the Woods. So definitely follow She Walks the Woods at She Walks the Woods on Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter at She Walks the Wood. Oh, it was one character short. They wouldn't let me do woods.
Fuckers.
She Walks the Wood on Twitter.
She Walks the Wood, baby.
It's a porno movie.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make one.
It's our alternate version. Yeah, we had a little bit of budget left.
Definitely follow, like, share your ass off with that. We just need to spread it to as many people as possible.
We love you guys for that. Get this thing out there.
Check out the teaser. Make sure you watch it with sound. Yeah, we should have hopefully we'll have an actual trailer for that within a month to a month and a half, just so you know the timeline on that. We're finishing up sound.
Picture's locked. Now we just need to finish up sound.
Yeah. All right, cool.
It's going to be awesome. And then if you just can't get enough of me, I have a new show that I've started. It's a local, it's kind of a Florida news oriented show, because of course in Florida we've got the best, most weirdest, nastiest news ever. You can subscribe to us and listen at The Edge of Suburbia. We are on iTunes, SoundCloud, all that good fun stuff. And hope you check it out.
Oh, and also we just released 4 episodes of the Cult Classic Comedy Show, available to Patreon members at the $5 level or more. If you listen to this podcast regularly, you got a preview of it a couple days ago, because we released it on the feed. So,
which movies are out? Like Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, there's a couple that aren't really classics. Horrible Bosses, Blazing Saddles,
Tommy Boy,
and Hot Fuzz they've covered so far. So those are the hosts, are friends of ours. Actually, one of the hosts was the director of our film. One of the other hosts was an actor and the director of photography for the film. And actually, the other host was one of the hunters, so he's one of the tiny bit parts in the film too. So
so they're all part of the She Walks the Woods.
So check out that podcast. It's only on Patreon for now, but if they are consistent enough and it sounds good, we might end up branching out, making it its own actual podcast. But for now, you have access to it in Patreon.
Yeah.
Along with the Cult Classic Action Show hosted by all of us, along with Carmelo Chimera. In which we're behind on, and we'll be releasing an episode probably in the next week, I would say. And
what have we decided on?
Well, I think we have to do Predator, just because that's such classic.
Oh yeah, you can't. Predator is definitely an action movie.
Yeah,
definitely,
we might just be doing that one next.
One of the best classics.
We have done a few episodes there, so check that out.
Yeah, we've done Cobra. We've done. We did Commando. We did Bloodsport.
That's what we've done. Those 3. So
yep, it's going to be. They're very good. Carmelo is hilarious.
We also did Die Hard.
And Die Hard. That's right. So 4.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
We'll catch you next week.
Later.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.